subscribe, like, comment, and hit the notification bell.
Good morning, friends. How are y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brandy and I do all things food related. Today is Sunday, August 24th. I'm getting ready to do a little grocery haul, and then am I prepping food today? Usually on Sundays I like to prep a breakfast. Lost me there for a second. Usually on Sundays I like to prep a breakfast, a bigger dinner, and get ready for some lunches. I'm trying to think. I'm making sandwiches for lunch this week. So I may show y'all a few sandwich boxes. Usually I make like 3 at a time. Breakfast, I'm doing a couple different things. I have some leftovers that are in like bowls already. I can show you that. Hang on. So I made like a big breakfast on my Blackstone yesterday for us. And it had hash browns and ham, egg, and biscuits. So this just has ham and hash browns. So I'm gonna put some eggs, cook some eggs today and put them on the top. I have 2 of these bowls. And then since we also had biscuits, we have leftover biscuits. So I'm gonna make these into probably 3 bowls, 2 biscuits each. And I have some sausage crumbles. I'm gonna scramble some eggs and make those breakfast bowls too. So that's what I'm doing for breakfast for the week. But I just got back from picking up my H-E-B grocery store order. Grab me a Starbucks. I hardly ever grab Starbucks. I like 7 Brews, but this iced horchata oat milk shaken espresso is pretty dang good. You can see I already drank most of it before I got home from the store. Should have gotten a large. I don't usually like oat milk either, but I like that one. But let's go through the dinner plan. And I apologize if you hear my vacuum going. I would stop it, but I'm too lazy, to be honest with you. Okay, like I said, today is Sunday, and we are having a MexiCasserole. Haven't had this in a while. My husband requested it. It has like a taco ground beef mixture, and then you top it with like cornbread. So I call it MexiCasserole. This is a pretty version. There you go. This is from a magazine. I have no idea what magazine, but I've made similar to this many times. Sometimes I follow the recipe, sometimes I don't, but that does remind me I need to go thaw hamburger meat. We're eating it with hamburger meat. We don't eat ground beef a lot, so that's different here. And then Monday we're having couscous turkey bowls, and this is a older Hello Chef recipe I've done. We really like this one. It has like a lot of vegetables, seasons with za'atar. It has a sour cream crema top, really good, healthy. So, and za'atar is like one of my favorite seasoning profiles, so I like that. My husband picked that one as well. And then Tuesday we're gonna have leftover MexiCasserole. Wednesday we're actually going for a date night. This month in the Dallas DFW area is restaurant week, and a lot of high-end restaurants do where you can go eat like 3 courses for $59. And typically we do that. I actually did it last Friday with girlfriends. We always go. And then my husband and I were going to go for our date night this month. Well, we were looking and we were like, found a restaurant we wanted to go to, and we went to their website to book. And they had an even better special for Wednesday is National Pork Chop Day. And it's a restaurant. It's Perry's in Dallas, if you're familiar. They're very well known for their like pork chops. So I was even telling him when we were planning the restaurant week, I was like, I can't believe they don't have the pork chop on the menu. That's like their world famous double bone-in pork chop. Well, when we saw the pork chop night, they had the pork chop as an option and then another thing, like a steak or something. So we decided we'd rather go on National Pork Chop Day, and it's only $44, and it's like 4 courses. And the other one we were doing was $99 because theirs was like a surcharge or whatever. So it's going to save us some money, and we get to try the pork chop. So Wednesday date night works out well for my husband because he took off. He was already off on Thursday. And it kind of also works out for me because I get inspected by New York State on Wednesday. So it'll be a nice little like reprieve after work. And then Thursday I work from home. And like I said, he's off. And Thursday we're going to make chicken thighs, Cuban bowls, plantains, black bean, rice, that sort of thing. And then Friday we'll eat the leftover turkey couscous bowls. So I am excited for this week's meals. A lot of, something different. So let me get back. Like I said, I just got back from H-E-B. Let me unpack all this and I'll show you what we got. And with points and stuff. Look at this cute baby.
He's a cute baby. Oh, yes. Rio got a bath yesterday. Yes, he did. Where's your brother? Where's Ash? Why are you in here by yourself? What are you doing? Do you sleep in? He's a loner. He's a loner. Come out here with the fam. There's the husband outside mowing. There he is. Okay, let's get to these groceries. Let's start off with the two non-food related. We need foil very, very badly. So picked up some Reynolds wrap. I do not, man, I meant to buy a big one and I did not. But I do not buy off-brand foil. That's one thing I feel like does not work for me. And then I make so many breakfast preps, and I've been wanting to try these forever, but I've been too cheap to buy the full sheets. So finally picked them up. Turns out they're not as inexpensive as I thought they were. But I need to do a little rearranging here. This is for Ziploc bags. I bought this at H-E-B a while back because this is like crap, but I haven't like transitioned it. Hopefully this will fit. Yay, it fits right there. Perfect. Okay, now let's get to the actual groceries. These are my husband's. He loves these banana creams, specifically the bigger ones, because he says it's a better ratio than the smaller ones. And H-E-B is the only place that has the bigger ones, so we always have to get these even if we don't need them when we shop there. They're 9 points each. I do not like them. Highly taste like fake banana, not my jam. For the MexiCasserole, I got some hot taco seasoning. We just really like hot, so that's why I got this one, 0 points per serving. For the biscuits that I'm gonna make into a little breakfast bowl, I got some country gravy, 2 points per serving for that. For the Mexican casserole, a can of corn to bulk it up and add some nutrition. Also for that, that's 0 points obviously. And a can of diced green chilies for that casserole as well. Those add great flavor to things for very cheap. And then 1 can of mild diced tomatoes with green chilies. So kind of double dipping on the chilies, but we like it. This is all for the casserole that I will make today. You will see that later today. And then my husband loves this guac salsa. I don't really eat it too much, but he likes to eat it with taquitos and frozen burritos, that sort of thing. It is 2 points per serving. And I got him the medium one. I don't think we've ever realized there was like mild and medium, so he'll be excited about that. Picked up some sliced almonds. This is just for the couscous bowls, turkey couscous bowls. Like it has a Moroccan flair. In Moroccan, they use a lot of almonds. It is 4 points per serving, but we won't use that many. I just got a small bag. We just need enough for 4 servings. And this is 2 servings, so it'll only be 2 points of almonds when I make that night. I just needed a breakfast meat for me to have on hand that was like simple. So I picked up this pre-cooked bacon. It's 2 points per slice. I don't love pre-cooked bacon, but I really wanted to save me the hassle this week. And then I have never purchased these, but again, I wanted to save me some hassle. I'm actually having back problems and didn't want to be up on my feet a long time today. So like just saving time cooking these two is going to help me. So I got some ground turkey sausage crumbles for the biscuit bowls I'm trying to make for my husband. These are 4 points per serving, which is half a cup and 9 grams of protein. I don't even know if we'll use that whole portion. We'll have to see. I'll show you those as well. Not much to it, but I'll show you. My husband eats a TV dinner pretty much every day. Oh, I can't get this to stand. Whatever. Every day for lunch, unless I send him with leftovers. He just likes them rather than salads or sandwiches or anything like that. I got this one because there was a coupon. Bourbon chicken pasta. It's 16 points, 23 grams of protein, and 460 calories. He'll have to tell me how that one is. Dynamite penne meatballs. He loves the mega banquet bowls. This one's really high calorie. He's probably not going to love that. 590 calories and 18 points. How much protein? 24 grams of protein, so that's pretty good. And then this is his ultimate favorite, the buffalo style chicken mac and cheese. 480 calories and 27 grams of protein for 14 points, which I don't know if the points is right. TV dinners, I find that the points can be wrong, so always check them. I have been craving corn dogs, so I figured this is the best way to go rather than like going to, say, Sonic or something. They're 7 points each, 7 grams of protein, and 180 calories. Not too bad on the calories there. This will be just like, shoot, I may eat this today for lunch. This is just more on the weekend to have a lunch around. For the Mexican casserole, I got this Mexican thick cut cheese blend. It's Monterey Jack cheddar asadero and queso quesadilla cheese. Sorry if I butchered those. I tried. It's 4 points per serving. It's like full fat cheese, 110 calories, 6 grams of protein. Got a Starbucks. It's time to go to Target again and get their coffee, but in the interim, I needed one because I wasn't going to Target today, so I just grabbed one because I'm almost out of my current coffee. And then H-E-B no longer sells Fairlife. And I'm assuming it's because they came up with their own. This is their dupe for Fairlife, so we went ahead and grabbed it to try. But you know what's annoying? It's actually more expensive than Fairlife. So whatever. But we also saw that they had this small milks. So I added one to the cart, and my husband was like, please get 2. I don't know why we couldn't have shared to taste it, but he wanted 2, so that's what we did. It is 5 points per serving, but that is for a cup, so that's not bad for a chocolate milk. Oh, and that's 2% for the chocolate milk. We buy the fat-free for the regular milk, and it is 2 points versus 5. We also got Oiko's Remix. I got 3 different ones. I got the salted caramel, which scans for 5 points. We got the s'mores, which scans for 4 points. And the cocoa almond chocolate, which scans for 6. I'm really enjoying these more than the Dan & Light and Fit mix-ins. So, you know, when they're on sale, might as well pick them up. I don't know if the points are scanned right for these as well. I always thought they were all 4 points, but who knows. So what I'm trying to say there is if you're eating these, make sure the nutrition matches. Okay, got the carrots. Those are for the turkey couscous bowls. The green onions will also be to top the turkey couscous bowls. The lemon is for the turkey couscous bowls. You see, come on. The lemon looks like it has blackheads in its pore. I have never seen a lemon. I could not get it to focus on it. But anyways, all the little bumps seem to be like filled. Anyhow, whatever. I'm being weird. The garlic's also for the turkey couscous bowls. The zucchini is for the turkey couscous bowls. And then we got some avocados just to have for snacking. Got my husband 3 peaches and 3 white nectarines. The white nectarines look lovely. The peaches do too. They did a really good job picking them, and they've been awesome price everywhere pretty much. And then we got some bananas, and my husband's going to be so annoyed. He loves bananas, but these are so little. Like, they're baby. And he likes a big, hearty banana, so he's going to laugh at these. But, you know, it is what it is. And then the last thing, just since I was at H-E-B and I haven't shopped there in a while, I got my favorite Sesame Sweet Asian kits, 5 points per serving. So I'll have 3 lunch boxes and then salad this week. So all in all, I just looked all these groceries plus the foil, and it cost me $85 from H-E-B. And I was really extra this week, and yesterday I was laying on the couch just watching a show. I ordered this entire grocery order in Tom Thumb and Walmart to see which one would come out cheaper. And I was surprised. Walmart and H-E were identical, like within like 50 cents or so from each other. And Tom Thumb was about $10 more, which I knew Tom Thumb was more, but it was funny because it was like certain items driving it. But anyways, H-E-B won the shop off this week. My husband just got in from outside mowing the lawn. So he asked him if he wanted a sandwich before he has to leave. So he said yes. So I'm going to make him a sandwich. But since I'm going ahead and making him a sandwich, I'm going to go ahead and make my 2 lunch boxes per the week. I always get questioned on my sandwich boxes. They're from this Sistema brand, I guess is how you say it. I got them at Walmart. It has the 2 sides and then the sandwich box. They are really nifty. I think they were like $5 to $7 each. I've had them for years now, like over probably 5 years. So I don't need to talk about this, but I'm using this budding lunch meat. This is actually really good. It was on sale at Tom Thumb last week for $4.99,
and it's over a pound, and it comes in like 2 packages, which I enjoy. We're gonna put my Dusseldorf mustard, the best mustard in the world, and then we're gonna do a thing of thin Swiss cheese, and I really like the Lucerne thin cheese versus Sargento. I feel like it's a little thicker, so it's easier to like peel apart. And then I have some H-E-B whole wheat bread. I haven't been able to find the bread that is like a point a piece for 2 pieces, so it's like 2 points. All the ones I'm finding are rounding up to 3. And then I have some fruit as well. So, like I said, oh, and I'm also gonna add an English cucumber to my bowls. I will flip the camera around and get going, put on some music, which I need to buy a music subscription so y'all can quit hearing the same little do theme songs. But let's get to it. I was gonna make me 3 sandwich boxes, but since I bought that salad, I'm only gonna do 2. And another day of the week, I may just have TV dinner. I always lose the bread tie. Where is the bread tie? Seriously, what did I do? Okay, got my 2 sandwich boxes done, got my cucumber cut up. This will be for when I eat salads. And I got my husband a little lunch plate, all in under 10 minutes. Little things help you have a successful week of healthy eating. Had I not done this and think, oh, I'll make a sandwich in the morning, it won't happen, and then I'll be more likely to eat out. This fruit I actually cut from last week, and it has like the hollow bottom, like the liquids held down here. So it keeps this fruit pretty good for like up to 2 weeks. I love watermelon. The cantaloupe wasn't nearly as good, but mixing it with the watermelon helps it out. Friends, I got a mic. I've always had a mic and never used it because it seemed too complicated. But sometimes when I film outside at with my Blackstone, the audio's bad. So I'm trying out something, so we'll have to see how this audio works. But I'm getting ready to do my breakfast prep. I was gonna cook all the eggs outside on the Blackstone, and I'm still debating if I should do that or not. It doesn't really matter, but I really want to test the audio on the Blackstone. So yeah, let's go do that. I'm gonna do scrambled and fried. And also, I won't have to dirty up any dishes. It's really easy to clean the Blackstone. So yeah, let's go turn it on. And it's already uncovered from yesterday. Just gotta turn the gas on. My husband mowed today, so, oh, nothing got on it, thank goodness. Go ahead and get it heating. Since it's eggs, I'm gonna turn it down, not have it that hot. Yeah, scrambled eggs aren't the easiest to do on the Blackstone because they run everywhere, but it's not the end of the world. It's really not. So for the ham and hash brown bowls I already showed you, I'm gonna do 2 fried eggs per bowl. So I need 4 eggs for that. Use my little carrying caddy, just put the eggs down there. And then for the biscuit bowls I'm making, I'm going to do
3 of those. So 2 eggs each. So I'm going to do another 6 eggs scrambled. And that'll leave me 5 eggs for just me during the week is perfect. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do 7 eggs scrambled just so I have 4 during the week. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm making cornbread tonight and I need an egg. I'm going to save this egg. I always bring a piece of foil just to set my utensils on. And a trash bag, especially since I'm cooking eggs. Like I said, I am scrambling and frying. Let's turn down that heat. Gotta put some oil on. Spatula to move it around. So I'm gonna start with the 4 fried eggs. Just some Kinders as always. I cooked breakfast on here yesterday, fried eggs for the first time, and they were great. They stayed nice and over easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it off. That's all you need for an over easy egg. I just put them in my foil because I just didn't prepare. Now the scrambled eggs will be more difficult, and I say that because they're gonna want to run everywhere. They sell these molds, these silicone molds, that for scrambled eggs, it would be nice. I just don't have any. I'm trying to get some excess oil in the middle. Now, I've cooked scrambled eggs a couple times on here, and you don't want to do them near the back because they're going to run in the drain hole. So I'm actually going to try to do them like just up in the front. And I learned if you let a little of them cook and then add more, it's easier to control. And you kind of like pour it in the center. Sorry, you couldn't even see down here. Yeah, so scrambled eggs, they look ugly on here because this is as down as far as they will go. But it tends to pick up stuff from the grill, so it'll look dirty. But they eat really, really well. They taste yummy. If I would have taken my time, I wouldn't have all this runoff. But, you know, it's really not a big deal. I really want one of those molds. I still also need to get, like, the thing to make smash burgers, too. Like a burger press, I guess. So, the eggs are done. So, let's finish one of the breakfast preps. Like I said, this hash brown and ham in these bowls was breakfast yesterday, and I had a little left, so instead of redoing a whole new breakfast, I knew I was going to fry some eggs, add them on the top, and that is 2 breakfast prep right there. So breakfast ham, 2 eggs, and then some hash browns, and there's a lot of ham, so that's going to be like hearty. These eggs have already cooled off, so I'm ready to go back in the refrigerator. And then for the other 3 bowls, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get the bowls. I bought these at TJ Maxx a long time ago. They're not, I wouldn't say the highest quality. And honestly, I wish they were a little bit smaller, but for meal prep, what can I say? They work. Okay, so I am going to, no, I was going to spray them, but I don't think I need to. I got 1.5 cups of water that I'm going to bring to a bowl per the package instructions of my gravy. Then I have another half a cup of iced, well, not iced, but cold water. And you mix the gravy pack with that first. I may not end up using all this gravy, who knows. Cleaned off my whisk from earlier. Once the water is boiling, I'll just pour this into the gravy and let it boil for about 5 minutes, and that gravy's done. Of course, you can make your own gravy, and if I made homemade sausage, I would, but it's hard to make sausage gravy without cooking sausage. My leftover biscuits, and these are like the real mini biscuits. They're only 160 calories for 3 of them. Not sure what that comes to per each. I could do the math, but I don't feel like it. But I'm just gonna cut each of them up into small bite-sized pieces, and I'm gonna do 2 per bowl. I've done a casserole similar to this previously when I had leftover biscuits, and my husband loves biscuits and gravy. So I made him a casserole and he like loved it. And so since we just had this little bit left, I figured, hey, why not do something similar? Yeah. I don't think I'll be eating this one. I don't really think I'll love biscuits and gravy like this. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, last time I did it, I didn't know if it was weird to put the eggs like with it, and he liked it. He didn't mind it, so that's what we're doing. He is watching what he's eating. So I got the turkey sausage crumbles. Never used these. I said that earlier in the haul. But I'm going to weigh them just to make sure I don't go over too much. So 1 serving is a half a cup, 57 grams, 120 calories. So I'm going to plan to do 57. We'll see how much that looks like. I have no idea. Okay, that was just a little bit much, but not too much. And that feels like plenty. That's a good portion. So I'm going to do that in the other 2 bowls. I know someone's going to come at me for like not eating whole foods and using processed foods, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. I do what works for me and my family, and using convenience items works for us. And you can still lose weight and be healthy using them. I don't care what you say. Maybe not as healthy, but still healthy. So anyways, that was about, there's 5 servings, so I have 2 servings left. I'll work this in later this week. You have to let it come to a boil and then reduce and simmer for about 5 minutes. Now you turn it down. If you don't stir it, it will scorch on the bottom. This is actually 8 servings of gravy, and I don't want to use all of that because it would be too calorie heavy. It is 45 calories for a 1/4 of a cup prepared. So I'm going to do just a 1/4 of a cup and see what that looks like. I may go back and add a little more. Like I said, I'm not the one eating these, so I'm not too worried about it. But my husband is also tracking what he eats. But he can eat like 2,500 calories a day, so. Okay, I'm going to do 1.5 servings because you definitely want those biscuits to like really soak up the gravy. Or at least he will, because he is a super heavy gravy person. Like, you should see when he eats chicken fried steak. Okay, I actually ended up doing 2 servings, let's be honest there. Okay, that'll work. I'm going to save this, and we will eat it later in the week for something. Not sure what, but we definitely will. And the last thing to do is to divvy up the eggs. And this is the part that seemed weird to me previously. But I cooked the stuff with the scrambled eggs in the oven as a casserole last time, and he said it was perfectly fine. So putting the eggs on top, I think is perfectly fine too. Okay, so got this breakfast done too. I did figure out the nutrition on this one because I was wondering. It's 430 calories with 2 servings of the gravy and about 33 grams of protein. Not sure how many Weight Watchers points it would be. The gravy was, okay, I also figured out how many points it would be. It would be 4 points for the turkey sausage, 4 points for the gravy, and then the biscuits, I believe, are 4 points for 3. But you're only eating 2, so it's going to be like 8, 9, 10. About 11-point bowl, 30-something grams of protein. I think it's like 32 grams of protein and 412 calories. He likes a nice filling breakfast, so works perfectly for him. I may or may not eat some of these bowls. Who knows? But we have 5 breakfast bowls to get us through the week. He also eats cereal during the week, and I make fresh breakfast during the week. And we have like some frozen sandwiches also we incorporate. I'll be back later today to show you dinner. That's all we have left. It's currently 2:30. I'm actually going to sit down and try to learn Final Cut Pro. Right now I just use iMovie, and I've used that for many years now. But I have enough money in my YouTube funds to buy the $300 software. So I'm watching some YouTube tutorials to see if that's a plunge I want to take. Is that how you say that? The plunge I want to take? Take the plunge?
Friends, it is 6 o'clock and it is time to start dinner. I think dinner, cook until eat, will be less than an hour, and most of that is going to be while it's in the oven. This is like another meal that's just super, super simple. You could also do it with ground turkey or ground chicken, but I am using ground beef, and this is like, I think like 18 ounces or so. I weighed it earlier. I'd prefer to have 1.5 pounds, but I didn't have that in like a package, and I didn't want to use 2 pounds. So first things first is I'm gonna get this sauteing up, and I'm also going to cut up a jalapeno and an onion as well. I got the meat behind me sauteing. I'm gonna dice up probably about half of this onion. It's just a white onion. It's pretty large, but you know, onions cook down to nothing. And the casserole I'm making has to be at least 4 servings. It may end up being more than that. I'm unsure. We shall see. But 4 is like what I'm going to. If it's more than that, my husband will like take it for lunch, or I'll take it for lunch or something. But it needs to be at least 2 dinners. And I got 2 garden fresh jalapenos. These are the first ones out of our garden for the year. Our peppers finally, all different types of peppers finally started growing and coming to adulthood, whatever that's called, ready for harvest, whatever. We had a really nice bell pepper, really ready to harvest. And sadly, oh man, that one's bad. Whoops, that one's bad. So we can only have the 1 pepper. And with the meat. Okay, so to the meat, this dinner, like I said, is going to be so simple. I have made this a ton of ways. I'm roughly following a recipe, but not really. But 1 can of hominy. I think earlier I said I was going to use corn. I changed my mind. My husband said he would want hominy tonight, and I said okay. But it's also really, really good with corn, so either one. And I'm using white hominy just because I have it. Rinsed and drained. 1 of the larger can of diced green chilies. I think usually I use a smaller can, but it'll be fine. Not worried about it. We like chilies. 1 can of Rotel or off-brand, whatever you like. I thought I got fire roasted, but that's not what it says, so don't know if that was a me issue or the grocery store issue. 1 can of Rotel. Usually you can use a jar of beans, but I actually have these beans, homemade pinto beans. I had made these a while back, and they'd been in my freezer. We thawed them last week to eat with some quesadillas. Have a little left, kind of feeling sick of them. So I'm actually going to drain these and add these as well. I love making sure food doesn't go to waste. So I just gave them a light drain, not all the seasoning off because they already flavored like Mexican style, but that works. Also going to add 1 package of hot taco seasoning. I don't know the nutrition on this. My husband's going to want to know because he doesn't track on the weekends, but during the week he tracks. So we're going to need to know the nutrition for him. But on Weight Watchers, right now, none of this would be points. This right here is a 0 point. 0 points. Everything right now is 0 points. Beans, because that's 97.3 lean ground beef. Hominy, 0. Rotel tomatoes are 0. Green chilies are 0. This is a great option, guys. Great option. And with the protein from the beans and the meat, it's going to be high protein too. So I'm not going to add any liquid for that taco seasoning because it has all the liquid from like everything else. But there's nothing earth-shattering here with this recipe. It's similar to like if you were making maybe taco soup or something like that. But it's also it's affordable, I would say. Definitely affordable. Green chilies is a great way to add flavor too. Okay, I am going to, really at this point you could call this part done, but I'm gonna let it simmer together just to make sure it cooks some of that taco seasonings, because you don't want the raw taco flavor. Seasoning flavor, I guess I should say. Everything else, I mean, it's just warming it up. But it is also gonna get baked in the oven. You could stop right here and eat this. You could serve it over rice if you wanted. You could leave it no rice for a lower carb option. But this right here, it already tastes amazing. It tastes like taco soup without the soup. But got a little kick because I used the hot taco seasoning, but we like that here. Yeah. But we're gonna make it over or under. I'm gonna use this white cornbread mix to make a topping for it. And I'm gonna make it just according to the package. 1 egg and 2/3 cup of milk. I think we're gonna make it in this dish because that's kind of like, this makes enough for, I think, a 9-inch round. So this is a little bigger than that, but I'm gonna put it in here. So I'm gonna spray this. 2/3 a cup of milk, 1 egg. Telling you, I'm lazy. This was from earlier, dirty, so reusing it. Pulled it out of the dishwasher. Mix until combined. If you weren't watching your nutrition or your calories or anything like that, I would probably double the cornbread part. But, you know, we're trying to be somewhat healthy here, so not going to do that tonight. I may thin it out more than usual, though, so that it pours over the whole casserole, and I feel like I have enough. It won't hurt it when it cooks. I think that is perfectly good right there. Hopefully it all fits. Oh, this pan's heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Whoopsie. Kind of got too heavy on me there. Had to drop it. I'm going to try to do it light so I have enough. It's going to be perfect. Now this is ready to go into a preheated 425 oven. I'm not sure how long. The directions for the cornmeal says for 7 to 8 minutes. However, since there's moisture under, it may take a little longer. I'm gonna set it at 7, now I'll check it with a toothpick. The recipe, which is funny, I didn't even look at the entire time. I just looked at it for ingredients. And it has corn in it. It's from a magazine from a long, long time ago. It has the instructions for making your own cornbread topping with like using just cornmeal and whatnot, cornmeal and sugar. I'm not going through that trouble. It's not worth it to me. The only other thing, it does say to top it with some shredded cheese. We may or may not do that. I did buy it. We may, I don't know. We'll see if we want a little cheese. But this one says you bake it for 30 minutes. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna take 30 minutes at all. Yeah, even though I don't need that recipe actually to follow along while I cook, I keep it in my recipe book because it'll like jar my memory to make this. Like we haven't had it in a while, mainly because it's unhealthier, but I put it in my tracker and we'll get to that in a minute. So I haven't been tracking in August. At the beginning of August, I was a little, and then I decided I'm just not. But I was really curious about the nutrition of this meal once I made this skillet portion, and I was like, this is all 0 points. Let's see. And I put everything in my tracker, and it is a 7-point meal, and all of the points are coming, well, there's 2 points in the whole package of taco seasoning, but if you divide it, and that's saying it's divided over 4 servings. That's going to be way more than 4 servings, but let's pretend we eat that in 4 servings. Then it is, why is hominy coming out points? Hominy should not be points. It's telling me the hominy and the green chilies are points, and it should not be. They should not be. Regardless, whatever. It's saying it's a 7-point meal. If the hominy wasn't counting points, I don't think it would be, because the whole pan of cornbread is 19 points. So really it's more like a 5-point meal, because hominy is not points. And I don't, I chose one that was input by someone, and I don't know why, and there's no added sugar, right? Let me check. No, there's no added sugars. 0 sugar. This is definitely 0 points. I know it is. Homony's listed as a 0 point fruit. Not unless Weight Watchers changed something and I didn't get that memo. Let me know. But anyways, it's coming up as 7 points and 394 calories, which is great. We love a 400-calorie dinner. But only 12 grams of protein? Oh my goodness, Fins, I'm so silly. I forgot to add the meat. Hang on. Okay, that sounds more like it. Once I added the meat in, it's not a 400-calorie meal, which I didn't see how that could be. It is 588 calories, less than 600. Still happy with it because it's going to have like that hearty, not healthy feel at all, and 38 grams of protein. But it does have 72 grams of carbs, which is crazy. However, like I said, that's if that was 4 servings. Let's just change it to 6 and see how that changes it, because I do think for sure it's going to be 6 servings. Okay, 6 servings brings it down to 5 points, but I don't think that's true because of the hominy. And that brings it, that didn't update. It didn't update, people. Update. Okay. That brings it to 400 calories, 26 grams of protein, and 477. I'm not tracking. I just wanted to know for that meal, just for my own curiosity. I guess we're going to forego the cheese because I didn't put any on it. It'll be fine. I attempted to cut it in like 6 servings, but they're not equal by any means. Not too sure. There's no good way to scoop it out, let's be honest. So I'm just going to try my best. I think I'm going to use this like scoop. Let's give it a taste with the topper. I ended up having to cook it with the top for 14 minutes, and then it's been sitting for like 10 minutes. Yummy, yummy for my tummy.
Okay, friends, I totally forgot to do an outro for this video. I highly appreciate it if you stuck around and watched me with my grocery haul and meal prep. And now I'm sharing the dilemma of making a cover photo. But hey, at least I didn't forget it this time. Okay, bye friends. See y'all next time.